This is Steve from Boxing UK in association with Supreme CBD. Delighted to be joined by Frank Smith. Frank, last time we spoke in Sheffield, it was a night of shocks. Any worries about tonight beforehand?
Look, I think, Chris Algieri is the same thing, isn't it? When Kiko Martinez fought Kid Galahad, he had the experience, no one gave him a chance. Chris Algieri is exactly the same. He's been in there with the best, and Conor Benn's still learning. But he showed tonight his improvements. He's come on so much, and he has a huge career ahead of him. What a finish, and the kind of thing you need to do to become a superstar.
What did you make of the knockout? It's one of the most brutal we've seen ringside, wasn't it?
It was amazing. Yeah, amazing. And the
referee counted.
Yeah, he was there, but he did well as well, Conor, to show that maturity, not to follow up after that as well. So, massive performance from Conor Benn. And like I say, anything can happen with these fights when you're going in with someone with so much experience. You look at the people Chris Algieri's fought, and I know he's older now, but that's the thing that keeps in his mind, is that experience of what to do, when to do it. But Conor showed so many improvements. His defensive work was great. People were loving it out there, and some big nights ahead for Conor.
Talking about big nights, the press conference there, the same name that kept coming up was Adrian Broner. Something you want to see, Frank?
That would be a great fight. And can you imagine the build up to it as well? Yeah. That's the kind of fight Conor Benn needs. Another person, Adrian Broner, been in with so many big names, done so much in his career, and Conor Benn, they're the fights we need to deliver for him. So, touch wood, we can make it happen.
I'll not tell you what Eddie said there.
What did he say there?
We talked about the winner of Amir Khan and Kell Brook. How do you think Conor would fare against the winner of that fight?
I think he'd beat them both. The only thing I would say is, you look at that fight, it's made at £149. Conor's focus is on the welterweight division. I can't see, maybe Amir would, but I can't see Kell Brook coming down in weight again. So, I think let's see what happens in that fight. But Conor's also on his own path now. He's got some big fights ahead of him, and he showed tonight that he's a star of British boxing. So he's let's see how things play out.
Can you quickly run through the rest of the card? A standout for us was Robbie Davis. He's thrown himself right back in the mix with knocking Hank Lundy out the ring.
A lot of people thought Hank Lundy, would get the win in there tonight. Robbie Davis, he's had some tough nights in his career, but this really sets him up for some big nights, moving forward. So all credit to him. You had Joe Cordina as well. I know he's a bit frustrated with the fight itself, but another good win for him. Some big nights ahead for Joe. We've obviously just signed Nagawa. You've got Zelfa Barrett, who fights Tarimo next week in Manchester. So that's exciting. Katie Taylor back again. I think she just needs that big fight. She needs.
That was the next question. Will it happen, Frank?
I think we're closer than we've ever been, and I think Katie needs that kind of fight to show more and more improvements. Katie's amazing what she's done for the sport of boxing from the start all the way through to now. She's wanted that fight for a long time, and I think with focus on that fight, with focus on Amanda Serrano, you're going to see an amazing performance and a big win from Katie Taylor. So hopefully we can get that done for early part of next year. MSG New York, it would be great.
Indeed. A couple of daft ones, Frank. We've asked Eddie if he's upset anyone tonight, and he said he hasn't, so he's had a clean slate. He's talking about, I'm not to joke, but Leonard Ellerbe. If Eddie was to get in the ring, you'd have to promote that. How would you promote Eddie Hearn?
It's easy, isn't it? It's the most easily promoted fight in the world. I actually think Leonard Ellerbe, Eddie Hearn's a massive fight. I think it would do more pay-per-view buys than they did for Gervonta Davis the other week, and more tickets as well. They seem to lie about their ticket numbers and everything else. So I think Eddie Hearn would knock the fuck out of Leonard Ellerbe.
Not setting it up. Yeah. I'm going to promote it.
I don't worry, I'm not scared of him. I'll have a fight with him.
Lost my train of thought now, Frank. Callum French, lad from our neck of the woods.
Great performance, great following as well.
Yeah.
Been a long time coming, his debut. And he's got a big future ahead of him. And a tough debut as well.
It was.
He wanted that. He wanted a proper fight. So respect to him. He's had a great amateur career, and I think he's going to have a big career in the professional ranks as well.
Last one, Frank. Can you
and Keevan as well. Matchroom debut.
Good debut,
from Keevan. And Peter McGraw. Peter boxed he had his debut on our Liverpool show recently, boxed again tonight. He's a great talent, and we'd love to carry on working with him as well. Brilliant night.
Last one, Frank. I hate using this term, but for the casuals who read one story and then read another story, Can you absolutely clarify the situation with Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury, Joshua Usyk, where things stand at the moment?
Yeah, so
And what do you think will happen?
The WBC obviously called the fight after a long time. You know, the 30-day negotiation period now. After that, it goes to purse bids. So there's that fight. Anthony Joshua's got his rematch against Alexander Usyk. You know, there's a lot of talk around step aside, etc. But you know, this sport, everything changes in a day. So I think, you know, AJ's focus has always been to go back in there and fight Alexander Usyk. But you know, and with Dillian Whyte now facing Tyson Fury, you know, we'll see how it all plays out. But a huge year ahead for the heavyweight division. You know, there's great matchups there, and by the end of the year, hopefully, we'll see an undisputed champion.
Fingers crossed. So just last one on that, Frank. If I had a tenner,
Yeah.
would you advise me to bet on Fury Whyte next and Joshua Usyk
I'm not
next?
allowed to bet.
All right.
But whatever happens, some great fights. And like I say, gives us a big year in the heavyweight division. But obviously, Tyson Fury against Dillian Whyte's been called. Usyk against Joshua is the rematch there. So, you know, that's the lay of the land. Everything happens in this game.
Fingers crossed. Frank Smith, always great to speak up with you. Take care.